Okay, let me really quick just run through the list of things that I had for me to do. And of course, if you guys come to the table with something else you have to get done, by all means do that. I put down, I want to go over this whole idea about what you focus on expands, and we're going to just do a really quick exercise with it. I want to make sure for Super Saturday, don't wait for someone, your upline, somebody to figure out how to get to everything online. Like, go ahead and do your research, find out what's the link I need to log into? How does it work? Make a graphic so that when people on your team are messaging you, you're not like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do it. Just like be ready. And then I would make sure that you have a plan. If you're doing this online, you've already got, you got to be the hype girl, right? Because like you're watching something online. So this is one of those things that we know your team will grow and thrive when it attends events. It just will. And so that means you got to bring your A game when you're presenting this as an event for yourself. I've got a girl that rented an Airbnb and her team's coming and she had food catered. Like she's gone a lot. She's a senior Ruby. I have other people that are meeting in people's homes and they're just having a great time and it's a potluck. Make that about community. So really focus on your Super Saturday and make sure you have a plan for how you're going to log in. We're going to go through our 10 message commitment. We made that commitment for January. If this is your first time on the Power Hour, Winnie, shh, sorry. I'm now like a dog person who has to tell her dog to stop barking. So anyhow, we're going to focus on 10 people for this month that we will not miss a day on Monday or Wednesdays of our Power Hour of messaging. So I have a list of people I promised that I would always message, and it's not even about Plexus. Then we're going to talk about keeping people consistent so that they earn their consistency bonuses. And then we're going to go make a list of things to do in our stories. So first things first, Megan Milakovic did a live today on the 22 committed page, which is why I'm like wearing a tank top, because I promised I work out 45 minutes every day for 22 days. I got to do that right after this. And she talked about something that you've probably heard so many times that the actual phrase goes in one ear and out the other, because I'm guilty of it. What you focus on expands. You've heard this like a million times and you believe it. You believe it when they say it. You're like, yeah, it's true. Like I could be talking about one of my favorite actors with somebody and all of a sudden I see ads for them everywhere and they're in every picture and it just seems like that's the new famous actor. What that's not true. They always were in those ads. They were always in those pictures, but now you notice it. And one thing I know for sure, each one of us have some default negative thought that we spend so much of our day ruminating on. We think about it. It's just, if I say to you, what is your default negative thought? Tell me something that's negative thinking. You already know what it is. Like I do, I have like categories. I've got the parenting category of like, you're not good enough. Your kids are never going to make it. Like you've totally messed them up. Like I've got that awesome line of thought. And then I have the business line of thought, like you just got lucky and you're not a good leader. So I've got all of that. And then I also have the physical, the body, like you don't look like you should look to be a Plexus diamond. Like I got them all and I'm willing to share them with you. But the point is we have a job to do. And that's what we're going to do today is we're going to make a list of our top negative thoughts. We're going to be purposeful of crossing them out and replacing them. We're not doing this because I want, did anybody ever go to like summer camp or youth camp and you like wrote stuff down and took it to the front and ripped it up or burnt it? Like we're not having a ceremony here. That's not what this is. This is actually biological. This is actually rewiring the brain because we live in the same circuit and we say the same things and we just think it's who we are. And instead we're going to teach our brain like, oh, that's weird. She's crossing out that thought. Oh, she wants me to think about that one. That's what we're going to do. But I want to show you really quick, unless you missed, if you already saw Megan's live, then you're getting a repeat and we're not going to watch the whole thing. But I just want you to hear just a minute of what she shares. I literally think she's one of the most precious, wise women. And here's the best part about it. She didn't just show up one day with all this knowledge. She has invested in herself. She has read, she has listened, she has grown. She has done what John Maxwell says, and she meets with people that she admires and she meets with successful people so that she can ask them questions and learn from them. I've never seen her not purposefully grow. And so everything that she says and shares is stuff that she's learned. So let me go ahead and
My name is Megan Malakovic. I am a diamond with Plexus, and I'm so excited to share with you guys this morning about mindset. And what a better topic to get started on in our 22 committed group than talking about our minds, getting our mindset right so that our thoughts can start working for us, not against us, as we go through this challenge. So, first, real quick, before we dive into some of the things that I was talking about with what you focus on expands. Okay, this morning, right? You saw I had some technical difficulties and could not jump on until right now. So, what I want you guys to know is there's always going to be things that happen. We're going to set up a plan and then life happens. We're going to make commitments, and then there are going to be things sometimes that are out of our control that are going to try to derail us. And when that happens, I want you guys to think about two things. I want you to think about, okay, what is something that I can control in this situation, right? What can I control here? Because we can control ourselves, we can control our reactions, we can control, we might not be able to control the situation that is happening to us or something that went on, right? But we can control how we react. We can control what we do from there, okay? So I want you to think about that. Okay, what's the one thing I can control? I say this to my kids all the time. What's the one thing you can control? And they're like, ourselves, okay? So that's one thing I want you to think about. The other thing that I want you to think about is this phrase that we used to use it in gymnastics all the time. And it was when we would show up at a competition and the equipment would be different and we'd start freaking out mentally, like, I don't know if I can do my routine here. And we would say, adapt and overcome. And that is a phrase that I still use to this day when something doesn't go my way, when something doesn't go according to plan. I say, okay, I'm going to adapt and overcome. How can I pivot in this situation? And if you can take that mindset to all different areas of your life, if you can take that mindset to this challenge, if you can take that mindset in your business, with your health goals, whatever things that you are going to come across over this next year that maybe doesn't go according to plan, you say, what can I control here? And I'm going to adapt and overcome. And then
That's exactly what I want you guys to hear. So, this whole idea of adapting and overcoming, if you're doing this business the way you're supposed to be doing it, then you are goal setting. And guess what? You may not reach your goal. And instead of being the weak person, the weak minded person that says, I didn't reach my goal, maybe I'm not meant to be doing this, or maybe this isn't the will for me, or I'm never going to be able to do it, which is what I want to do when I'm in the weak mind. Instead, you just say, adapt and overcome. If you struggle, then you actually live in a human body. Congratulations. Humanity is struggle. We're going to have a hard time. We're going to have people quit. We're going to have people leave for other companies. We're going to struggle with our health. We're going to have hard times. But guess what? We have a choice. We have a choice on how we're going to deal with that. So I want you, before we get started working, I just want to like throw all the junk out. I want you to write down whatever negative thoughts. And I have a way that this is phrased. I found this and I thought it was really helpful. It says, write down your deepest recurring negative thoughts on the left side of a piece of paper. Then we're going to cross those out and expel them. And we're going to think of whatever the best case or complete opposite of that situation is. And we're going to write down a new, better thought. So go ahead on the left side. And if anybody decides that they're brave enough and they want to share it, that would just be fabulous. If you added some tears in there, I'd be like, yes. But anyhow, go ahead. Left side, deep recurring negative thought. Let's cross them out and replace them. Okay, so I'm sure you could go all day long writing down negative thoughts. And it's funny because sometimes you don't even realize all that's been living there rent free for so long. But I'll share just a couple. And if anyone's willing to share theirs, and then we're going to jump into the 10 message commitment. If you have a team, we're going to work on these consistency bonuses, which means you're going to need to be able to access your virtual office. And I want to kind of talk to you guys about making a game plan for people. So just know that that's coming. So I wrote down, I have 0 willpower, and I replaced it with, I'm strong enough to say no. I put down, I'm not good enough, and I replaced it with, I'm exactly what my family and team need. These are things that you can put on a Post-it note and put on your kitchen cabinets and leave them there so that you see them all the time. This is all a matter of tricking the human brain, because the human brain, however complex and amazing and intricate it is, it's also plastic and it can be reformed. And you have the right, and I encourage you to do that thing, reform your brain. Finally, I said, I'm so disorganized. And then I replaced it with, I can learn any new skill. And I can learn how to be organized. And I took a course that changed everything for me in terms of that. Like, it taught me so much about getting things in order. Now, sometimes I slip back, but does anybody want to share before we move on? Carol?
Okay, I said that Jewel never happened for me. And I said my counter one is consistency will get me to Jewel. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I said I can't be successful. And I said I am successful. And the last one was I will fail and others will see that I'm not enough. And then I said, you made me do it. I will show myself and the world that I am enough.
I'm writing these down. Okay.
I'm going to put that somewhere good.
So good. And here's the thing. It's probably hard, and I've been in this position where you changed your thought to I am successful, and you're fighting that thought. You're like, I really don't believe that. Like, you're like, I can actually prove to you how I'm not. Like, I can give you a list of like 100 ways that I'm not successful. And that's the practice now of you starting to allow your reticular activating system. That's the part of your brain that actually allows you to expand on what you're looking at. That's why you see the white car everywhere once you buy a white car. If you will start to say, I am successful, and then when you finish dinner, and you make this beautiful dinner and you say, I am successful. You clean up after dinner. I am successful. You do your hair and it looks beautiful. I am successful. I got dressed today instead of wearing PJs. I am successful. If you will start to practice that, and I'm going to encourage you, Carol, to go ahead and let this be your phrase. Success is inevitable. Success is inevitable. It will come, period. Now you get the privilege and the right of defining success, but that phrase alone is so empowering. Does anybody else want to share? Tina?
I have one that I've been learning from my book that I've been reading for the challenge. And it was I am not good enough at this, that, or the other. I'm just letting, okay, so many. And then I put, I am clothed with strength and dignity, and I can laugh at the future.
Woohoo!
Proverbs 31:25.
Yes. And I can laugh at the future. And what's so beautiful about that is the future can crush you. It can. Like, the thoughts of that can be just too much. And what's so sad about that is that these are the only assigned days that you, Tina, are given in your life. Like, why can't we be able to enjoy each day and laugh at the future, knowing that it will take care of itself? It will. And I read this funny quote this woman had written. She was saying something negative about the condition of the world, and it was just overwhelming to her. It was this negative thought of everybody's horrible and there's so much evil and da 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 da. And her thought, she replaced it with, and this is funny to me, and I think it's hilarious. If it offends you, I'm really sorry. She replaced it with, at least I have vodka. And that's what she would say every time she was frustrated with something that was crushing to her. I don't even drink alcohol, but man, I was just thinking, you know what? Sometimes we just have to laugh And that's what that reminded me of, Tina, when you said that. Laugh at the future. Super good. Anybody else? Okay. So what we're going to do now is our 10 message commitment. All you're doing is you pick 10 people that you promised that you would message every Monday and every Wednesday, not about Plexus, because what we're doing is a long game, a 90-day rule. Some of these people on my list are on my team. And that's because I know that sometimes I let things fall to the wayside, and they deserve to be in connection, deserve to be in relationship. And also I want to be in that. So I just have to be purposeful. So we're going to spend a little bit of time going through our 10 message commitment. If anybody has anything fun or neat that they're using to be able to message, great. If not, the simplest thing of all is, hey, happy Monday. I'm on my power hour and I'm sitting here thinking about, I wonder what she's up to. And so I thought I would reach out and see how you're doing. Okay, so I'm almost done with that, but Sarah Marble, she's just like a wealth of information when it comes to mindset books. And if you're doing 22 committed and you need some suggestions, Sarah, would you share anything you've got on that?
Yes, absolutely. So I just wanted to chat with you guys for a second. 11 years in, like I could still have filled that paper with negative thoughts and what I'm going to replace them with. And I just want you to know, like nobody's immune from that. We all have, things that we feel like are things that are holding us back or those thoughts in our head. So I have so many books on my bookshelf, and it's funny because I was like, oh, well, they're on my bookshelf because I've already read them. And I pulled out Atomic Habits and I kept thinking, oh, I've read it. Oh, I've read it. Well, I picked it up yesterday to reread it for 22 Commit. And I was like, I've never read this book. Like the first 10 pages were just riveting and fascinating. And I was like, well, there you go. There's the book I'm going to read. But I want to encourage you, no matter where you are in your journey, there are ways that we can navigate through and past roadblocks and, self-limiting beliefs and doubts and stuff like that. In picking up this book, I'm already like, so 23 pages in, I'm already like, see, this is why I'm supposed to read this book, because time and time and time again, I set big goals. I'm very driven and I'm very purposeful about regrouping and refocusing and setting a new goal. Well, already in this book, it talks about we need to forget about the big goal and focus on the systems to getting there. So if we're doing this 22 committed or showing up for this power hour because we have huge goals to hit a business goal or lose weight or whatever that case might be, but you find yourself feeling frustrated, I wanted you to just hear this one sentence. Goals are about the results that you want to achieve, but systems are about the processes that lead to those results. So this book is already letting me know that I have been failing at setting up those simple systems, those daily small habits that are going to lead to the bigger successes. And the other thing is, if you set a big goal and then you don't hit the goal, what do? We tell ourselves that we're failures, right? We're like, well, I didn't hit that goal. Might as well not set another one. Or, I'm a failure, a loser. So this is already starting to shift my mindset about if I can set systems in place to help work towards the goal, I will enjoy the journey and enjoy the process. All of that to be said, anywhere I found a stumbling block or someplace on this journey, whether it was health-wise, food-wise, business-wise, anything, I'm like, you know what? There are people who have navigated through this and moved past it. What can I learn from somebody who's already, shortened the learning curve for me? So if you're struggling with Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you're struggling with what should I read? What should I listen to? What should I focus on? Think about some of those things that you wrote down on your list of those 10 negative reoccurring thoughts, and think about what is something that maybe I just need to tackle and put a new system into place for overcoming. For me, food and eating is something. So I've got all kinds of books on mindset around food, but there might be something that you can learn and grow through as we're investing these minutes into personal growth and development. So this really quick, I love this visual. All big things come from small things. The seed of every habit is a single tiny decision, but as that decision is repeated, a habit sprouts and grows stronger. Roots entrench themselves and branches grow. The task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting a powerful oak within us. The task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower one day at a time. So I'm excited to finish reading this, but I just want to encourage you. And I think this group is great. We can maybe drop some more suggestions. My top 2 or top 3 would be Atomic Habits, Slight Edge, and Compound Effect, because all 3 of those deal with the same concepts and are foundational, I think, for any area of our life, not just for building a thriving Plexus business. leadership specific, a lot of my mindset issues come around I'm not a good enough leader. And so I went back to 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And then 5 levels of leadership is also, for me, very foundational, going back through those 5 levels. So just my little 2 cents, if you're doing the 22 committed, or if you're invested in learning and growing in this year, pick up a book, even if you're only reading 11 minutes a day. That is going to change your life. He also talked about the 1%. If we commit to be 1% better every day, by the end of the year, we'll be 37% better at whatever we put that time and energy into. And that's just huge. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
I think it's so encouraging. It's almost like the whole idea of exercising. Like you can't not have changes. Like when you read, you can't not have changes. And if you've ever been in the state where you feel like you have 0 to offer, I'm sure you've been there. Someone in here is like, I have nothing to offer. Like I feel like an empty vessel. Well, it's because you haven't put something in. And what I think is so beautiful is we can all read the same thing and we're all going to take something different away from it. And that's why us coming together and sharing, that's like success breeding success, because we're all able to grow with each other. We need to work really quick on these consistency bonuses. So if you have a team that's large enough, you're going to likely have a gold to, wait, remind me again, is it gold to senior Ruby? Gold to senior Ruby. Okay. First, let me answer this question. If you did not maintain your rank and you ended December at senior silver and you rank back to gold in January, you are eligible in February and March for the consistency bonus if you maintain that gold rank. I know somebody asked me that last week and I just wanted to make sure. What if you were never gold? Same thing? Yes, same thing. So let's say you rank to gold for the first time in January, you will get your rank bonuses, but then in February and March, if you maintain that, you'll get $75 each month. So what we need to do, it's not maintaining the highest rank, it's maintaining your paid rank from the month before. Is that right? I know it was from December, but now what you were in December, but then the exception would be as if you ranked up. Really what we're trying to do here is don't wait, and believe me, I like doing this because I don't like using Excel and I don't understand it. And honestly, I just say, I wonder where these cards are going to settle. Like I get it. It's easier to wait till the end of the month to do something, but here's what I would recommend. Go in and arrange your virtual office by paid rank. Find anyone that falls in that gold to senior Ruby bracket. Go find out where it is that they need to, like how many points it is that they're going to need to be able to make sure that they're maintaining their rank, anybody that fell short. And what we need to be doing is now, today, going in and talking to them about doing messenger chat events or doing an opportunity meeting or doing a VIP event. We need to talk to them about anyone on their team that ended the month as a senior ambassador. That kills me inside. I don't understand it when people add 2 and they don't get their last one. So we go to them and we're really getting them excited. Like, do you realize that once your 2 people qualify, all you need is 1 more to make this really incredible bonus? So these are the conversations we're having now. A lot of times people are not maintaining their rank because 1, it's a mindset thing. They just don't feel qualified to be the leader that they need to be. So they don't want to be bossy and they don't want to be pushy. Until you start looking at this as a career mindset, it's not going to be your career. So you have to go in and really work with people. And it's not that you have all the answers. I remember Jen Hawkins making this post when I had already hit diamond, and it said something like this. If you're interested in making extra money, I can show you how. And I messaged her and I said, what do you tell people when you show them how? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what exactly do you do? And she's like, well, I just help them get 3 people and get them to that first spot. And I thought, that is the easiest thing in the whole wide world. Well, the easiest answer. So anyhow, all that to say, if you don't have awareness, then I guarantee you they don't have awareness. You own this business. So you go in and you find who didn't maintain their paid rank, save them from the slow fade. If this month they were at 200, next month they'll be at 180. I promise you, I've seen it happen, because people, they start to have the sinking ship mentality, and they start to have the I knew it wouldn't last mentality. Okay, I would never let my child just float away like in Castaway with Tom Hanks. No way. I'd be swimming after him. Go swim after your people. So what you're doing is looking for people and helping them maintain that rank by working now with events, connection, coaching calls. If they say they're not interested, then you get interested. You go find the leaders on their team. You go find the senior ambassadors, the silver ambassadors, the senior silver ambassadors. You help people win, and it might re-engage them and it might not. And they might collect a check from the work that you've done, but you can say, thank you. Thank you for connecting me to those people. That's what you say to those people. So that's what we're doing.
Just to piggyback really quick, Jennifer, just remember, guys, this gives us a reason to connect with somebody and meet them and serve them. If you've got somebody who finishes at 97 pay points, it's a good opportunity for follow-up to say, did you know this is a bonus that's available? So one more reason to just be able to connect and have that conversation with them.
Showing up.
Okay, let me grab some answers really quick for you guys on some of the questions. One question I got privately is VIP customers do not get the Engage app. The only way they get the Engage app is after they've done a business building activity and they upgrade. If I were you guys, I would really make sure that I have a fine-tune system of if somebody, not if, when somebody shares their referral link, you have them log in or do it for them and upgrade to ambassador. Don't wait for the email, do it. Because if they take that product credit, they are forfeiting residual income. They get that product credit that one time. But if they take the bonus and upgrade to ambassador, then every single month that that person they referred orders, they're making a bonus on. Can you see why that's so important? Now, I understand it would be so nice to have a VIP customer have the Engage app, because then if they want to send their referral link, wouldn't it make sense for them to have an option to give a sample? I think that's coming, but for now, no. And then Tina, I've got some questions out to people asking why those don't align, the flyer and the help center. I'm not sure the answer yet, but I will find out. Okay, last thing we're gonna do, we only have 6 minutes, but I've got my list of people now that I know I have to help maintain that paid rank. And I'm just gonna make sure I start the conversation now, because honestly, is it not the ugliest thing in the world to not hear from somebody until the last 2 days of the month? That is the worst. At least now it feels like you're reaching out with amount of time that they could actually make something happen. And it doesn't feel so like end of month slimy. So I'm just going to read to you some ideas of things you can do in your stories today. And I want you to do one of these things in your stories. And this is just like a list of things. Share your daily to-do list. So that's always fun. You can show your to-do list and kind of talk for a minute about all the things that you have to get done, any tips you have for getting that done. Y'all, I made this baking soda Dawn soap paste and put it on my stove and like made a video about it. And then the next day you have to use vinegar to take it off. I have never had more messages ever than over that. It just cracked me up, which by the way, it worked terribly. And so I wouldn't do it. Talk about something that's coming up that you're looking forward to in your story. So it could be Super Saturday. It could be you working towards success sprints. Do a sped up video of you cleaning or cooking. Share a daily tip or a quote. Say it, don't show it. Yeah, you can always put a quote inside of your stories. That's fine. But what if you talked about it and what it meant to you? Or what if you shared, I heard about this book today. It's called Atomic Habits. I have never read it. Have you read it? Here's the gist of it. And this is why it intrigues me. So people want to just hear your thoughts. Review a product. Talk about something new you did today, or share your nighttime routine. Other tips are ask questions, add polls, ask your audience for their opinion often. People love sharing their opinion, and it's a great way to start up conversations. So I want to encourage you guys to get into your stories. Don't just to put pictures, don't just put quotes, but make a video. Go in there and actually share and let people see who you are. And remember that the name of the game this year is not about perfect, it's about personality. So we all get to win in that category. I will see you guys on Wednesday. I don't know why I have this nonstop dinging. Let me X out of my Facebook. And I'm going to go finish up some of my work that I have to do. And it was good to see all your faces. Yeah, I'll put that in the Power Hour chat. It was actually from somebody's post. It's a graphic. So I will drop that in the Power Hour chat right now. And you guys have a good rest of your day.